you ready? I said, are you ready for Let's Talk Whoa Hockey? And now, here are our hosts, Beth and Zach.
What is going on, hockey world? Welcome to Let's Talk Whoa Hockey. I am your host, Beth. Got my dude Zach here with me. How are you, Zach?
Hey, doing good. And I have to say that video intro is just money. Love it.
That is not the finished product. That was something that I put together just so that we had something.
Golf claps all around.
I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty frustrating because I don't video edit very well.
Yeah, that's why I'm an audio only guy, because video is not my thing. But for the audio listeners, you have to go to our YouTube channel to see the very sweet audio Beth made from scratch.
I made it from scratch. An updated version will be coming after my dad graduates from college. I mean, he talked about that last week.
Yeah.
He's in the, pre-graduation stage of graduating from college. So he's busy.
I don't miss that one bit.
I don't either. But we are back. We've got some giveaway updates to provide as well, because I know last week we talked about a giveaway. So currently we have 117 Twitter followers, and the goal is 200.
And the thing is, thank you to a lot of the college WoHo team accounts and coaches,
and not just teams, coaches. Like we love you guys.
I think we have two head coaches. Yeah, we have one from Michigan and one from Lake Superior State, and we may or may not have stuff in the works, but we can't reveal all of our magic. So you're going to have to that's why you have to subscribe to the YouTube and subscribe to the podcast and follow
the Twitter and the Instagram
and just have all the bells and notifications on, and then you'll know we might have some really cool stuff cooked up. So only thing is, be on the lookout for May 8th. We might get some stuff coming. So there's also, your only tease.
Be on the lookout next week, because we've got some big stuff coming. But we're not going to talk about it until later in the week. And if you're following us on the socials, then you'll find out before the next podcast episode drops.
I'm excited for next week. All I have to say is next week's episode is going to be really fun, because this guy is really cool in the fact that you met him too. So that's even better.
He was amazing.
So that's all we're going to say. This is going to be next week's. The thing is, that's episode 5. That's a huge guest for episode 5.
It is. I'm so excited.
So we had a guest for episode 2, 3, and now 5.
Yeah.
Look at us go. Go.
We had Announcer Dad. Also, shout out to the Connecticut Whale for this t-shirt. They mailed this to me after, if you follow me on Twitter, you know that I revealed the beginning stages of my tattoo and the whale fell in love with it. If you've listened to the show, you know the reaction that happened when the players saw it. But the Whale were kind enough to send me a swag package. There's a t-shirt, a cup, a bracelet, a pen, some stickers, a magnet. It was amazing. There was a card that was also just perfect. So huge shout out to the Whale. Margaret Kelly, I love you. I'm so glad we're Instagram friends now. You are an awesome human.
I like how the fact too, on their actual on their Instagram, you can see your little arm, you can see your tattoo in front of all the players, and then all the players are looking at it.
I know. They were taking pictures of it, for crying out loud. But I mean, tattoo update before we get to the Graham followers and the YouTube subscribers. Session 3 happened on Friday. So let me back up a little bit. If you're an audio listener, you better hop on over to the YouTube, because you're missing out. Because we got some work done.
Wow.
We got the
rink
fresh line drawing in.
That's fresh.
That's all the way around. We got some a little bit more shading done. We got one more session, and she's gonna be done.
That whale logo is just so great.
Isn't it beautiful? Look at Pucky. Look how happy he is.
It's perfect.
He's just such a happy little dude, and we love him. We love him. And his little hockey stick mouth, which most people never knew. And I'm like, look, it's a hockey stick, guys. It's a hockey stick smile.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. It is whaley awesome. We love it. But Instagram, be on the lookout after the episode drops, because we're going to pop up a video, and I am a rude person with not silencing my phone.
How dare you?
I know.
You're krilling the mood.
I am krilling the mood, guys. I'm so sorry. That was actually someone reacting to a story on our Instagram.
Oh, there you go. But we have a lot going on in this episode.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for the gram. If you're an audio listener and you don't want to come over to YouTube for some reason, there will be a tattoo reveal on the socials. But Instagram, we're at 64 out of the 100 followers we wanted. So we're over halfway there for both Twitter and Instagram. And same on YouTube. We wanted 25. We're at 15.
Hey, we're almost there. And the thing is, though, what is going to be the giveaway? Because the thing is, this is the giveaway isn't just us getting to those numbers. Well, we have to get to those numbers, but that's only unlocking the giveaway. That's not the actual giveaway requirements. We're gonna have to. There's gonna be actual requirements. This is just unlocking it. This is just unlocking the giveaway.
And I mean, there may or may not be like, I don't know, PHF playoff puck included in the giveaway. I have one that I got during a game, during the final.
I was going to say maybe like, a shirt of your choice, and we can just send it to the persons.
I mean, we can do that too, but I might sweeten the pot. It kind of depends on where the numbers sit and how you guys interact with us. I mean, we like talking to you guys.
Yeah.
On Twitter and Instagram and in the YouTube comments, like Grady 8, we love you. Thank you for like falling in love with the PHF after like 2 episodes of Let's Talk Whale Hockey. Season 8 is not ready for you. And I also want to welcome you to the Whale Pod. He loves green. He was like, I love green. Green's my favorite color. I am a whale fan. I was like, I like that. Welcome to the pod, my friend.
So double pod, the pod
double
in this pod. Yeah.
The pod and the pod.
Plus the pod's pod.
The pod's pod.
So would you say that there's just 2 whales in a pod? Basically?
I mean, it is. Yeah, pretty much. 2 whales in a pod.
Yeah, it's not 2 peas in a pod. It's now 2 whales in a pod.
Yeah, I mean,
put down a t-shirt.
It's true. I mean,
merch idea.
Soon we'll find out who your team is, and maybe it'll be 3 whales in a pod.
Well, it would still be 2 whales in a pod because it's just us. So,
true, but I mean, there's also Chris, and I mean, we can't forget our friend Shaggy Von Doom. He is also a member of the Whale Pod. Yeah. So,
but that's if I pick him though. It's we don't know yet because
sir. I mean, we'll get there.
But yeah, thank you everyone who did do the poll. Surprisingly, it was a tie between the Whale and the Whitecaps at 35%, and the Buttes barely missed out at the 30%, but only 20 votes, guys. Come on.
I mean, we got to give our pod family a little time to get used to how we post.
It's also Easter Sunday as we record.
Our Twitter did kind of go like sentient for a while. It was like tweeting to you, but I didn't tweet it out. Like it added you, and I was like, I'm sorry, Twitter pod Twitter. What's happening? And then all of a sudden there was like evil laughs and stuff. I mean,
but yeah, that wasn't me either because I was at work, so I don't know what's out. We don't have any interns too, so I mean, I don't know what's going on. Maybe when Odyssey 2001 on us for a second. Like, I'm sorry, Dave, I could not do that.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm a big sci-fi and fantasy nerd, so I might drop some stuff. But yeah, it was interesting, but. Yeah, so that was fun doing the poll, but the thing is, though, merch has already been purchased for my team, so there is that. It.
So you're committed.
I'm committed. Yeah, I got a hat, got a shirt of a certain player, which I'll also reveal on here because why not?
Why not?
And there may be a jersey already picked out that I have to save up for. A possible hoodie that I need to get because it's got the skate laces and it's just fantastic. Because why?
I mean, who doesn't love a skate lace hoodie and or jersey? I'm all for like the old time hockey feel with the actual lace up.
Yeah.
Like,
the thing is that there's like 4 hoodies I want to get because there's so many good ones. Especially there's one where it's like multicolored with the logo in the middle of the middle color. It's just so many choices, and it's like. So many other shirtsies I want to get because there's so many good players on the roster. So, I mean,
we talked in Chicago. I was in Chicago last week visiting my dad. On Sunday, we went to Sears Tower because that's what it'll always be called. You can change the name all you want to. However, it will never not be Sears Tower.
Right.
And we also went to Millennium Park. And I got this.
Nice.
And what's even better is it's a piggy bank.
You got a bean bank.
I got a bean bank.
Very nice.
And it's so like shiny. Like, look how shiny that is.
It is pretty shiny. So
I love it.
audio people gotta go subscribe and get the bill on the YouTube so you know what we're talking about. So
you got to see the bean bank. I mean, come on, it's beautiful.
Hello.
It's beautiful, and it just sits on my desk now to remind me of happy times at the Bean.
Right. And plus, look at that jersey wall. It's just.
It's got some new additions. I mean, we've got
Corey Crawford.
the baby Corey Crawford jersey I was telling you about. That's a kid's jersey.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only Crow available, so why not?
I mean, I have another Crawford jersey. I have the 2015 Winter Classic Crawford jersey.
Right.
But it's currently in the laundry because it suffered, the inevitable loss of the Blackhawks game. So it has to be washed because those are the rules. I got my Caner jersey right there.
Very nice. You gotta have a Caner.
Allie, of course, because, she's lived on the jersey wall since the jersey arrived. Got my whale jersey hoodie. That is not a jersey. That is a hoodie.
It's nice though. And of course, you got the St. Patty's Day Iceman jersey because
last season, that's from last season. We had a player named Trevor Hamilton, amazing D-man. He recently retired, but I also love the musical Hamilton. So there was just like this immediate, like, I must have his jersey.
Yeah.
And I'm also very Irish. So how could I not have that jersey?
Yeah, of course.
And
I mean,
it's game worn and came with the socks too.
There you go.
So they're actually on the hanger, like, underneath the jersey, because any ones that I have socks for, like I've got the socks for this Publix chicken tender pub sub jersey. Those are also on the hanger.
I do have to say though, Publix subs are the best subs of all time. Like there are some places that have good subs, but Publix subs though.
If you're ever at Publix and you want to get a chicken tender sub, ask them to toss the chicken tenders in ranch dressing. You're welcome.
That one's really good. I usually get the Van Bold myself with the gourmetsy sauce.
Okay.
Amazing. So, but the chicken tender one is good too. I mean, all the subs are good, but it's the Italian 5 grain is where it's at though.
Yeah, it's not only where shopping is a pleasure, it's also where eating food from a deli is a pleasure.
I mean, facts. I mean, I had a pasta salad one. I had a feta pasta salad that was just amazing.
Their banana pudding at the deli, by the way.
Even the chocolate, even the chocolate pudding is amazing. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So Publix sponsor us.
Publix, we love you. Please sponsor us. I mean, I love the color green, as you can tell.
I'll gladly take Publix. Like I'll take Publix gift cards just to go.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I exclusively shop at Publix. So, well, in Costco, because I mean, duh, I have dogs and a cat. Yeah. I have to shop in bulk.
A little bit.
Yeah. So, do you want to play a game, Zach?
I think we should, and for all of our, we usually do WoHo first, but for this episode, because there's a lot of WoHo stuff to cover real quick. Now, part of the WoHo news, this is going to be an episode 6 thing, so we are going to bring up a portion of it, but a lot of it's going to come on episode 6. Yeah,
so that'll be in 2 weeks. We're going to go more in depth on everything that's going on. Hopefully, we'll have some more information.
Yeah,
about everything that's going on.
But it's a certain league that might be starting in January of next year. So we'll get to that. We'll do a quick, like what Jeff Merrick said on Hockey Night in Canada. But we're not going to go into full details until episode 6, which, like what you said, Beth, hopefully we actually have some more information. So I guess we'll see. But since we have a lot of PHS stuff to go through, plus I have to reveal my team.
You do. I'm very impatiently waiting. For anybody who thinks that I know, I don't. Like, Zach made a graphic, didn't tell me he was making a graphic. I was busy doing something, and then he was like, I made a graphic, and I was like, so what you're saying is don't go into our Canva account. He was like, no, I already deleted it. So I mean, like, I have no idea. I'm also prepared to drop the gloves if necessary. if he doesn't choose the team that I want him to choose, just because that's how I roll.
I might just want to say it just to fake you out, to be like, oh, here's the team, and it's like you didn't, and then it's like
Hulk smash.
Yeah, just a complete fake out. But yeah, so yeah, I think I was doing graphics for something, and I was like, I'm just gonna make it real quick. It's very simple. It's nothing too crazy, but yeah. So like we're doing a lot of the Hawk stuff first, just because of
And I mean, we're gonna play a kind of like fun but also sad and painful game.
We're just glutton for punishment when it comes to
we are
our other
Blackhawks
team.
Fans.
We have to talk. Yeah,
we're Blackhawks fans.
Luckily, this doesn't give me as much pain.
I don't know, Freddie Anderson, Jordan Stahl,
and we're going right into the playoffs where we might play Boston. So
yeah.
So at least we know one team. At least we know one team is not making it. So I mean,
it's true. So we know when the last game rolls around, that's it. We're done. Like, have fun playing golf. I mean, as you see me, if you're watching on YouTube, I will show Happy Pucky as much as I can to try and influence Zach to change his mind if it's not the whale, because the pod always needs more people.
Of course,
because a happy pod is a prolific pod.
That was whaley amazing. For what you did there.
I know. So, Hawks fans, we're going to play. I hate to call it a game, but I'm trying to say that it's a game just to make it hurt less. Yeah. We're going to play a little RFA, UFA. Should we re-sign or move on?
And the thing, I'm looking at Cap Friendly, and there's one name that's not even RFA, but it's got an extra symbol next to it because well, this player is exempt from the 50 standard player contract limit. But you know what? I'm going to say it real quick. We're going to do the game, but we're
drop names.
The fact that Lucas Reichel's first year of his ELC got absolutely burned on a season that's not going to matter is an absolute joke.
Yes,
we're trying to give him chances. Why?
But also, burning his contract now means that we can re-sign him later for a bridge deal, essentially, before we give him big money.
Yeah, because Kyle Davidson has said it's trying to get him closer to a bridge, would give him like lesser money to get. It's like, I like Lucas Reichel. Is he really going to blow up that fast where he's going to need a contract in the $5 million range? We'll have to see.
Mean, he's good. He did finally score.
Yeah, he's really good. It's just like, it's not an Alex DeBrincat or a Patty Kane level where it's like, we got to burn it now to get to the bridge. It's kind of like,
I feel like burning it now to get to the bridge, though, means we will have a little bit of extra space if, knock on wood, we bridge deal him, and then we're talking about looking for some UFA, RFAs at a trade deadline to make a run.
Maybe, but it's just...
So, I don't know. We'll see. So far, I can say one name has already been checked off of our list. So, Zach and I made the decision to do this prior to Reese Johnson being extended.
Yes. So,
and we'll put him first on the list because I said to re-sign him.
I also said to re-sign him because it's Reese Johnson, and why not? I mean, he's
had some good looks. I mean, he definitely needs to develop a little more, but he's young. He's
23. Yeah, he's 23. He's only taking 1.1% of your cap off. I mean, he was making $880,000 and like some change this year, but then next 2 years it's $800,000 a piece. Like that's a great. Like you're actually getting him for about what $80,000 less than what his ELC was. So the fact that he's played well, he's 23, and now you just got him for $80,000 cheaper, and the fact that, like you said, he's been playing decent.
Yeah,
I mean, you need guys for a rebuild. Reese Johnson's a good rebuild guy.
He is, and I mean, if he's developed properly, and if he really starts to hone his skills, I see good things in his future. I'm all for a 2-year extension. It makes sense.
Yeah, you know who else would have been a great guy for a rebuild, and I'm going to keep saying his name because it keeps
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
Okay, I won't.
Don't hurt me. We all know who it is. So just this game is already painful enough. So just don't hurt me. I'm not here for it.
Okay. All right. So who's next on our list?
Next, I have Dominic Kubilik. You're up first, Zach.
I mean, he's 26. He does currently take up 4.5% of the cap. He had a really strong 19-20 season.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it's been a struggle for him, but I think it's been a struggle for the rest of the team. I hate to say it because I love the guy, but I don't. For the fact of all the other guys we have to re-sign, and plus with all the other guys we have in the system too that we also need to take a look at, I feel like we have to move on from Dominic Kubilik because at 3.7 this year and the production he's had, I don't really see. Like I said, I hate it. This one was probably one of the tougher ones because I love Kubi. I've been on the Kubi train since day one. But and then for a rebuild, unless the Hawks get him on a really cheaper contract, 3.7 is too much. Even 3.5, anything above $3 million would be too much for Kubi right now, especially when you're going into a rebuild season with this long list of RFAs, UFAs we have, and whoever.
The list is long, everybody. It is not a short list.
and that also depends on what Kyle Davidson does with the draft picks from this year, and who they might pick up in the offseason, because rebuild time. So it's like, I love unless they get Kubi on maybe a 2.5. Yeah, anything above 3 is way too much for him with his production from this past season.
And I completely agree. I said move on as well. It's one of those, I feel like maybe he needs to go somewhere else and kind of reignite what he had in his first couple of seasons with the Hawks.
Which were amazing. It's just...
Yeah, the Kubi bomb seems to have been a dud all year. That the one-timers just aren't there. His production is way down. And I know it's been a tough year all around. Trust me, we all know it has not been an easy year as Blackhawks fans, but also as Blackhawk players. I mean, they've been through a lot, but I feel like he might need to go somewhere to kind of re-spark something. And I don't know if that's Chicago. And I honestly don't think it's Chicago. And we love you, Kubi. Don't get us wrong. But I think his time in Chicago's done.
Yeah, it's just tough because the fact that Derek King has not kept him in the same. He's not kept a lot of the guys in the same lines. And I think that's what's really messing with everyone. Because even Kaner said it. He's like, I play with guys that I haven't practiced with for either weeks or never, and like you can't. And that's the problem. King is messing with these lines too much, where you don't know who you're playing with, and that's why it's always a struggle.
And that's why we always have too many men on the ice penalty, because you think your line's out there and you're like, oh crap, and you jump the boards because you haven't played with some of the people on your line.
Like
Derek King is not the rebuild coach. We'll repeat that until we're blue in the face.
And that's the thing that Ben Pope and Charlie Meliodas and a lot of other guys are saying is just it makes no sense. Like when you see their lineup, when they see their lineups, and I'm like, these lineups are an absolute joke. Because it's like,
you mean like the couple of games where he broke up Strome, DeBrincat, and Kane
after they were
expected things to happen.
He's like, well, we've lost the last 6, so I was trying to rack my brain and figure it out. Yeah,
that ain't it.
You do that to the other lines, not to the most productive line we've had in months.
But also stick taps to Patty Kane.
They're the hardest line
this season.
Yeah.
He just played game number 1100.
Yeah. And his dad was there too.
And the stare down of the Nashville fan in the front row, that was chef's kiss. The broken ankles in the San Jose game.
Oh,
or Pat Foley's last game. I mean, he gave Pat Foley a show. And after his goal, when he looked up and pointed to the broadcast booth, I cried.
The thing is, I've always liked Patty Kane, but the last I say this year, I think the last 2 seasons, I've just loved him more. I think he's basically almost my favorite Blackhawk now, just with the fact of how he's been the last couple of years.
He's Papa Kane now. He's not Patty Kane anymore. He's Papa Kane now. He passes the puck. He still breaks ankles. He still does insane things.
He's still fun. He's just fun to watch in general.
He's really found a depth team game this year. and last year. Like, he used to just be the guy who scored the goals. Now he's the guy who sees the open guy and passes the puck to score a goal. So
that's the thing. You break up the lines that make you break up the best line and it makes no sense. And the thing, like I said, I feel bad for Kubi, but it's just like this. Like, with Colton and King, it's not worked. Like, with Colton to an extent, yes, but with King, it has not worked. It's not worked with anyone, and that's the problem.
So, next on the list, I have Mr. Philip Khrushchev. He currently has a cap hit of $842,500 and will be a restricted free agent. And this is one of the few where I was like, I don't know. Because he's a good depth guy.
Yeah.
But he's not really a points producer guy.
Well, and the thing, too, is he's only 22, and like with Reese Johnson and everyone else, he keeps getting bounced onto every other line. It's like he's been playing.
Chemistry isn't instant. Like, even like Patty Kane and Alex DeBrincat, like that chemistry wasn't instant.
Yeah. So the thing,
Kane and DeBrincat, they built that chemistry in juniors. So,
or you mean Strom and DeBrincat?
Or Strom and DeBrincat. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah. There is another mistake I have to refix from last week because I completely goofed it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Phil Khrushchev, I mean, he's been playing really well this year. I mean, not the greatest, but I mean, he's been coming on as of late, and I just think him getting bounced around too much is not helping. Like I said, he's 22. Like,
I could see an extension. I don't see a new contract for him. I could see a bridge deal. Give him a 2-year extension. Let's see what happens. Do the same thing for him that you did for Reese Johnson.
Yeah. I picked Khrushchev as a stay. That was I had no problem with that one. That one wasn't one I had a debate on. Kubilik is probably the hardest one for me because of the fact, like I said, I like Kubi a lot.
Saying goodbye to Kubilik is what was hard for me. Like, looking at the numbers, looking at the production. I know he's bounced around the roster like a friggin' basketball, but it's just, even when he's on the ice, it's the fire's not there like it used to be. And so generally that indicates that some sort of reset needs to happen.
Yeah.
But Khrushchev was the only one that I'm looking at my list. He's the only on the fence person for me where I was like, I don't know, because he's a depth guy. He plays well, but he's also bounced around a lot like everybody else on the Blackhawks roster. And honestly, that's one where I feel like the coaching decision.
Oh yeah. And that's what it is. And exactly. And like I said, he only takes up 1% of the cap at 842, like you said. You can get him on an $800,000 deal like Reese Johnson for 2 years and we're good to go, because he'll be 24 when that's done. And then Reese will be 25 when his is done. So that's a great.
It's a good bridge. Hopefully, if we see more production, then you've earned a bigger cap hit. You've earned a little more money, but it all depends on how this rebuild goes, which is like pretty much the entire list.
Pretty much,
it all depends on how the rebuild goes.
Yeah, well, plus they re-signed Mackenzie Itwhistle recently too as well, because he just got an extension for $800,000 as well, and he's also 22. So you have Johnson at 23, and both Khrushchev and Itwhistle at 22 apiece. That is a great kind of core to have, and you have Lucas Reichel up next year. He's 19 right now with 2 more years left on his ELC. I mean, that's a good, solid young core, along with, Henrik, Borgstrom at 24. He's on contract for next year for only $1 million. I mean, you have, now you still have, Tyler Johnson, Alex DeBrincat's contracts, and unfortunately, DeBrincat's on his last year of his contract next season, but
we're not ready to talk about that yet.
Oh, I know.
Let's stay on our pain list for right now. I'm going to go to an easy one for us. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Eric Gustafsson.
I could not have said no to this any faster, because, he shouldn't even come back at all. He's $800,000 we didn't need to give.
My list literally says goodbye forever.
I don't get it. I don't
either. Like, sure, he's a depth guy, whatever. He's not good.
We don't need him.
Goodbye, Eric Gustafsson. See you never. We don't want you back.
He's tied for the oldest guy on the defense with Calvin DeHaan.
Might as well bring Calvin DeHaan up next. Calvin DeHaan. Unfortunately, I said move on because we should have moved him at the deadline.
Even Calvin DeHaan thought he was leaving too. And the thing is, like, he's taking up $4.5 million of the cap. Yeah, of course, he's a UFA next year. But I mean, if you just look at the defensive roster we have now going into next season, unfortunately, you have Seth Jones' contract kicking in next year, which is
which. Oh, by the way, we talked about his modified no trade clause on the last episode.
Yeah,
we learned that when his new contract kicks in, Stan Bowman was so generous to give him a no movement clause.
Yeah, he got the Chicago special.
So, if we don't move him for before July 1,
here's the thing: like, his current 5.4 takes up 6.6% of the cap. I don't even want to know what his 9.5 is going to take up the cap.
If I remember correctly, because I kind of looked into that, it's around 10-ish% of the cap.
Yeah, because right now with Patty Kane's and Jonathan Tays is 10.5. That's 12.9. And DeBrincat's 6.4 is only 7.9.
Yeah. So he's going to be 10% of our cap space for the next 8 seasons, guys. Hooray!
And we can't move him unless he waives it.
Yeah. So next on the list, we might as well bring up his brother, Caleb Jones, because I think we should re-sign him.
He's the best Jones brother right now, and he's 3 years younger.
And he actually plays defense.
Yeah.
I was texting Courtney when we were watching the Blackhawks game the other night, and I texted her. I was like, I have a question. Why is Seth Jones deep in the offensive zone, and why is he not on the blue line? He's a defenseman.
He's a defensive defenseman. He's not even an offensive defenseman. That is the other problem.
Why is he the net front presence, guys?
He is not Dustin Byfuglien.
But he's in front of the net, so
it's not Dustin Byfuglien. It's not how it works. You can't.
Buff, I miss you.
Oh gosh. And then, like I was going back to Eric Gustafson real quick. Like, you look at the rest of the decor we have. You have Jones. You got Jake McCabe until the end of the 24-25 season with his $4 million cap hit. You got Riley Stillman for another 3 years until the end of 23-24 at 1.35.
Yeah, I feel like if we could get Caleb Jones at around 1.5. I mean, he's still young. Yeah,
like I said, he's 24. Alec Regula, who's on his ELC, like, he's on his last year of the ELC next season. He's 21. Alex Vlasic is still got 2 more years of his ELC after this year. He's 20. Riley Stillman's 24 for another 2 seasons. Basically, Jake McCabe is 28. He's going to be, if Calvin DeHaan and Eric Gustafson both don't come back, he'll be the oldest defenseman on this entire roster at 28. And Seth Jones is 27. Everyone else is 24 or less.
Yeah. And if Eric Gustafson comes back, I told you this the other day in a message.
Oh gosh.
We storm the office. Like,
there's no he is not a guy you want in a rebuild, because we still have Wyatt Kalynuk on this rock. We still have Wyatt Kalynuk. We have a bunch of other guys.
Wyatt's going to be an RFA. I say resign him.
Yeah, you have to bring Wyatt back.
Yeah.
Because he has not gotten a chance, and everyone kept saying how great he's supposed to be out of Wisconsin, which he is good. He has not gotten a chance, which is mind-blowing.
It sucks. Like,
I can't believe we wasted his ELC for him to be in Rockford for the last 3 seasons. With small call-ups. Like, he has not gotten any
small call-ups, scratches.
And the thing is, he's supposed to be the most touted defenseman we have in our system, and we've barely used him in 3 seasons. Like, why are we wasting this dude's ELC? And because now the fact that, like I said, Regula is going to be on last year's ELC. Vlasic's going to have 2 more years of his ELC left. Like, we can't just be blowing through ELCs. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason.
Know.
That's why I said Caleb Jones, Alec Regula, Alex Vlasic, Riley Stillman, Jake McCabe, and Seth Jones. There's your 6 right there. You bring Wyatt Kalynuk up. There's your 7 D-men. You don't need to bring back Gustafson, and you don't need to bring back DeHaan. Because, like I said, everyone will be 28 or less. and
Yeah.
like 95% of them are going to be 24 or less.
Yeah.
We
We'll have a good mix of right and left D.
Well, I mean, yeah, because Jones is right, Stillman's left, Vlasic's left, Regula's right, Caleb Jones is left, and then Jake McCabe can play left or right, so he's perfect on both sides. So
and Wyatt's a left D man. We've still got in the system Ian Mitchell's a right D. We've got Nolan Allen, who's a left D. Jacob Galvis is left. I mean, we've got a lot of left D in the system.
I would feel like we would make Courtney mad if we don't bring up another certain player that she really likes, who's also been a really good D-man in Rockford.
Go ahead.
And his name just escaped me.
Isaac. Courtney be mad at Zach.
No.
Isaac Phillips.
Yes, thank you. I don't like I had it perfectly. My brain just was like,
your brain was like, nah.
Yeah, no, yeah. Isaac Phillips, hello. I mean,
yeah. We've got, I mean, I know the question was asked last episode about, what do we do about the depth on D? The depth is not the problem.
Honestly, like, stop bringing guys back who are never had a prime or past their prime. And it's just, there's no reason to bring back DeHaan. I like CDH.
I love him. He eats pucks. He's great in front of the net, but he thought he was moving. We all thought he was moving. We were all ready to say goodbye to Calvin DeHaan, and he was like, I was just playing video games, waiting for my phone to ring.
The thing is, he is not a guy who is for a rebuild. He's not. And Eric Gostis should never have come back. I don't know why we brought him back. There was no reason for it. So like I say, the only guy you bring back on the D core that's an RFA, UFA is Caleb Jones. And you'll have everyone else and bring up one or two guys as your depth D guys. I'd say one just to have 7 because you already got 6.
And I mean, it's good to carry 7 D-men. Let's be honest, because
you have to.
Things happen. You've got to rotate the D in and out. We're gonna do one more before we get to the 2 really painful ones. Well, the 2 really painful ones before the 2 like impossibly painful ones.
Yeah.
Sam Lafferty. What say you?
Well, I mean, Laff is 27. Only 750,000 of the cap. He's a center left wing. Because the thing is, though, he's basically our 4th line center. I mean, because they don't really play Tyler Johnson on center at all, basically. Kirby Doc is not playing center ever anymore. So all that only leaves you Taze, Dylan Strome, Henrik Borgstrom, and Sam Lafferty. I mean, yeah. I mean, they do have Etwhistle, Kurashev, and Reese Johnson, and Lucas Reichel all as secondary centers. But the Hawks like Lafferty. A lot of fans like Lafferty. This was a guy that was on the fence for me, but for me, it's like he's 27, but he's been playing well since we got him from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I said re-sign him for 2 reasons. Reason 1, he has had the most productive season numbers-wise that he's ever had in the NHL. His first season, he played 59 games and had 13 points. This season, with the Blackhawks, he has played 39 games and has 8 points. And with the Penguins, he played 10 games and had 2 points. So he is 3 points away from a season. I'm sorry, it was 50 games his first season. So, I mean, he's having a really productive season, much more so on the Blackhawks than he did in Pittsburgh.
How many points the Hawks? 8?
He has 8 points with the Hawks.
Okay.
But he's also shuffled around lines more than like people change their underwear.
Yeah.
So the second reason is he wants to be here. He has specifically said that he wants to stay in Chicago. And in a rebuild, you need players who want to be here.
Yeah, I was on the fence, and I would say, yeah. I mean, I was going to say you have to because he's technically our 4th center. Because like I said, you can't say Kirby's a center because Kirby is beyond struggled.
Yeah.
And it's Borgie, Dylan Strome, and Taze right now.
And my thing is, I don't know if we talked about this on the show or if we talked about this on a message. I feel like if we want Doc to be a center, he needs to stop taking faceoffs against Jonathan Taves because you're always going to lose those. Like, have Taser behind him, like, okay, move your hand, do this, do that, and have him take faceoffs from somebody else. But when you're taking faceoffs against, like, the best guy on the dot in the league almost, you're not, like, I feel like that is just a beat down of a confidence level.
Yeah.
Like,
you would think as a captain, you would know that, but
well, no, he doesn't know what his role is as a captain anymore. He needs to talk to the coach and the GM about that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to talk about that after we do this game because,
So since we're talking about him, Kirby Doc is also an RFA this season.
Oh, I mean, this has been Kirby's first actual real season in the league, and the fact that, as I've said before, we love burning ELCs, and we definitely burned this ELC.
Yeah,
badly.
Well, I mean, the injury last year was not helpful to the burning of the ELC.
No,
because he played just enough games, but I feel like he is a great bridge deal for a rebuild.
I would say you have to bring him back as a bridge deal just to see if he can actually prove that he's. Because I like Kirby, but it's like I have not seen, like, the only flashes of showing why he's a third overall was the bubble when they came back.
Yeah. But I feel like this being his actual first real full season, I mean, that's, if you think about it, if this was 2 years ago and this was the season he was having, we would be like, it's fine. It's his rookie season. It is what it is. This is essentially his rookie season. He didn't play most of last year because he broke his wrist at World Juniors.
Yeah.
And then the season before, I mean, that was just a hot mess of, like, world events. So,
and the thing is, he played almost the entire. He played that entire season out before they got cut off. He was pretty much. He pretty much played a good majority of that season before we got cut off in March. So I mean,
yeah. And then, I mean, we did, make it past the bubble play-in round. So,
like, the thing was, I like Kirby, but even then, it's like looking back at the draft, I'm like, he was nowhere even on my radar. I don't think he was on anyone's radar at 3. Like, he was at best at 12. That was,
I felt like he wasn't even on the Hawks' radar because there were like 3 names in the mix, and he wasn't any of them.
Like, Owen
Byram was on the list. Like, all these other people were on the list.
You know who I really wanted? Alex Turcotte.
And
it was Turcotte. It was Bowen Byram, and then who was the other one? I forget who the third one was, but there was like, I know there was 3 guys, but I know Turcotte and Byram were like the top 2 guys.
Yeah,
everyone's like, oh yeah, easily slam dunk number 3. You have to, and it's like,
Kirby, and then they were like Kirby Doc, and we were all like, what? What? Hold on.
What? Like, I literally had graphics made of Turcotte and Byram, and I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta go find a Kirby Doc one.
Dylan Cousins was the third name.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was Cousins, Turcotte, and Byram. Because I was like, all right, like, it's our pick. Here we go.
Oh, could you imagine Dylan? Could you imagine either one of those? Well, Bowen.
Any one of those 3 would. I mean, I know Bo's had concussion issues, but who says that would have happened?
Yeah, if they had imagine the Hawks had Turcotte. Like I said, I like Kirby. I've nothing against Kirby.
No, we love the Doctor. We are Doctor fans.
But Alex Turcotte.
When your 2 noted highlights from this season are getting your ankles broken by Cale Makar and getting a massive hip check from Radko Gudas, like.
Here's the thing. The thing is, people get Kirby confused as a defenseman. He's a winger. It's like, oh, he broke the defenseman's. He's like, someone's like, I forget what broadcast is like, oh, he broke that defenseman's ankles. I'm like, oh, and I tweeted this out too. I'm like, the bad thing is Kirby Doc's not even a defenseman. He's a winger and a center. Yeah. Like, he's not even a defenseman.
And wasn't our really boat angry contract of a defenseman out on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But
So,
like I said,
if anybody should be defending Cale Makar, it should probably be the guy we're about to pay almost $10 million a year.
Yeah, like I said,
but,
I like Curbs, but it has to be a bridge and it's got to be cheap because
yeah.
if we get anything at $1 million, it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby's 925 is too much. Well, it's that high because he was a third overall pick, but
yeah.
No, he's got to be around 800,000 to 900,000. Anything at $1 million or more is too much.
An 850, 900 would be perfect for him.
Yeah, that's
just
perfect.
To see, I mean, that gives him again another bridge deal. Let's give him 2 more years. Let's see what happens.
Million or more is too much. Million or more is too much for him.
The next one, I need to preface this by saying one thing. Dylan Strome, we love you. We are heartbroken about the loss of Wrigley. Every Blackhawks fan absolutely loved him. Obviously not as much as like you and his fur mom and his human sister did. But we are so sorry.
He was the bestest boy.
He was the bestest boy. He was the cutest boy. And
plus he's also best friends with the DeBrink dogs too, I mean.
The Bryn dogs with Finn Murphy. I mean, I'm like, my heart hurts for the Strome family, but also for like the whole Blackhawks family, all the players that have dogs. I mean, he was friends with all of the Blackhawks dogs. Like we love puppies. We love kitties. We love pets. We are a very pet friendly podcast. But when they posted earlier this week that Wrigley was sick, my heart hurt. Waking up the next morning and finding out that Wrigley had passed, my heart broke. Today, his fiance posted that they both got tattoos. Sturmer has Wrigley tattooed on the inside of his arm now. His fiance has a W for Wrigley and a W for their daughter and a little smiley face. That was another post that I was like, oh, my heart. I can't do this. But our thoughts are with you guys. Like, we've all lost for our kids. It is not easy at all. And
I'm not because Kelly's my first dog. I'm not ready for that day.
No, I have Gus and Ella who are sleeping over here to my right on their doggo beds. Gus is going to be 11 this year. He's already half blind. He's been half blind for a couple of years. He had juvenile cataracts.
Oh, jeez.
I am not ready for that day.
Yeah.
Kelly at all.
Kelly just turned 6. And
Ella's going to be 6 this year.
Yeah, Kelly's like right here.
Yeah.
Passed out next to me.
Love it.
She always
they're passed out right over here on their dog beds. I'll post. You take a picture of Kelly. I'll take a picture of my doggos, and we can post it to the socials so the people can see the babies. But our hearts go out to you, Dylan, and your family, and all of the Blackhawks family. I mean, even like Blackhawks beat writers were heartbroken when Wrigley passed. Like.
Yeah,
it's sad. So, but he's also an RFA this year. If you don't re-sign Dylan Strome, we again shall riot. He has had the best season to date. He just hit his personal high on goals. His production is up. He is a masterpiece with Kane and DeBrincat.
Here's the thing.
Bring him back.
Here's the thing that irritates me too. He did this with Jeremy Colleton as the head coach. Still, at one point, he was still getting scratched.
Yeah.
So
for God knows what reason. Jeremy just didn't like his style of play, apparently, and whatever.
But yeah, like the thing is, it gave him like if he had like this production all season, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It would have been stupid. It would have been stupid amazing.
So #resign Dylan Strome. Kyle Davidson, if you do not re-sign Dylan Strome, we riot.
Yeah, you have to. I mean,
we riot. There is an honorable mention. I forgot he's down here on my AHL deal list, so I skipped over his name. Curtis Gabriel.
Bring him back.
RFA. Bring him back. I love his advocacy. Like, I don't know if you saw him and Brock McGillis arguing on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Curtis was eating like a whole baked potato, just like holding the potato and taking bites out of the potato.
He is a special human.
He an advocate of like meditation, and he's an ally. I mean, he is a great human, and we need great humans, and bring him back, please.
He was a bloody mess a few weeks ago.
Oh, there's Gus. Hi, Gus. If you're not watching YouTube, you can't see Gus. Hi, my boy. He just woke up from a nap like, Mom, is it work time?
All right.
So Curtis Gabriel, come back. We love you.
Okay, so
now the two that we're both like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We'll start with
we have three
number
goalies.
one.
We have three goalies. They are all, as of right now, not coming back, besides Cale Morris, who's an RFA, but we'll save him for last.
Cale Morris is also on an AHL deal, not an NHL deal. So
right. Yeah, because
he's currently with us on emergency loan. Again, we are thinking of the Delia family because Colin did experience a death in the family as well. It has not been a good week emotionally for non-hockey related Blackhawks news either. So we are thinking about you, Colin, but Colin is a UFA. Kevin Lankinen is a UFA.
And Cal Morris is an RFA on a minor league contract.
Correct. In a rebuild situation, I say, as much as this hurts, we re-sign Lankinen. We take a look at AHL deals, etc., for other players. We do something with the young tenders we have in Rockford.
We've got
Soderblom. We just signed Jackson Stauber. We've got Cale Morris. We've got Colin Delia. We've got Kevin. I mean, we have plenty of tendies, but we need to figure out what to do with them all.
And the thing is, Lankinen played really well during the bubble season, and most of last year he was amazing. I'm like, give him sign him for a long-term contract. We found our goalie, and this year it's just been.
But this year we've also imploded with the D, laughable.
And you also bring in Marc-Andre Fleury, which basically took all the playing time from him. I love Flower, but
why do you have to remind me that Flower's gone?
But here's the thing, though. No one, everyone coming into the season, everyone's like, all right, cool. We have Lankinen. He played really well. He's going to be our starting goalie this season. And they're like, oh, yeah, we got Marc-Andre Fleury. It's like, cool.
I mean,
and now we're playing Marc-Andre
Fleury. If a GM walked up to you and said, hey, do you want the reigning Vezina Trophy winner for nothing? You wouldn't say no.
No, I wouldn't say no, but if I'm Kevin Lankinen, I'm like, crap.
Yeah. And I feel like he sat a lot this year, and tendies when it's not a 1A 1B situation, tendies get rusty. So I feel like we re-signed Lank.
Yeah, that's the problem with what Derek King and Jeremy Colleton did. They sat him forever.
Yeah, for too long. I understand you want Flower to play, but we proved that we did not deserve the greatness of Marc-Andre Fleury.
No, he's had winning records everywhere he's been. This is probably the first and only time he's ever going to have a losing record on a team.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it had to be Chicago. If you asked me if we had him during the Corey Crawford or Robin Lehner times.
Oh, God, could you imagine if we had a tandem of Robin Lehner and Marc-Andre Fleury? Oh.
Imagine if we just had them. Yeah. Can you imagine if we just had Corey Crawford and Robin Lehner for another full season?
Mm.
Or just kept Robin Lehner and just rolled with someone else. But no, we did get rid of Robin Lehner.
Robin Lehner and Kevin Lankinen.
That's what I thought we were going to do, but it's...
it's fine. We essentially traded Robin Lehner for future considerations. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine, I swear. So I say we re-sign Lank. We say, unfortunately, goodbye to Colin Delia.
Oh, don't tell it to Courtney.
Kale,
don't tell it to Courtney.
Courtney, I love you. Courtney, I love you, but we've got hard decisions to make. We re-signed Cale on his AHL deal. We still have Arvid and Jackson Stauber.
You're at that point. You already got three goalies.
Yeah.
Honestly, you could bring back Colin Delia and just run with Colin Delia and Kevin Lankinen back.
We could. Like
and just have three
we
goalies.
absolutely could, and just have like that floater AHL guy who bounces up and down when injuries happen. I mean, but then you'd have to like send one down to Indy.
Well,
Like,
how many guys we have in Rockford right now? 3, right? Including Cal Morris? Is that including Cal Morris?
No, 3 is with Cal Morris. So now,
so
technically, we have 3 goalies on the NHL roster and 2 in Rockford. So
bring them all back.
Bring them all back. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
All right, Courtney, forget what Beth said. We're gonna run all 5.
We'll figure it out. It's fine.
We'll run it back with all 5 of our goalies and just get absolutely just smacked.
We'll figure it out. Jimmy Waite, you've got a job to do, sir.
Oh, I do not envy Jimmy Waite right now. With
Jimmy Waite, you've got some tendy business to tend to. So
I see what you did there.
Hey, what's up? That is the end of the NHL deals for RFA UFA.
Well, who did I say we're going to talk about for a quick second? Then we had it.
You said you had an error to correct, and I'm still waiting for that to happen.
Oh yes. So I thought Dennis Savard was 19. He was 18. That is my bad. And his number is also retired. So I am. Last week was a blur. Don't mind me. Yes. I remember we were going to talk about a certain captain who needs to know what his job is, even though he's captained 3 Stanley Cup teams and was an alternate captain on Olympic teams, and was named the top 100 player of all time.
Mm-hmm. But he's unsure what his captainy duties are. So good luck, Kyle Davidson, because apparently Jonathan Toews no longer knows how to captain an NHL franchise.
Like, wait, what happened? Like I know he was sick last year, but
I mean, you heard Courtney and I talk about it. Like, COVID Toews took over regular Toews, and we just haven't gotten regular Toews back yet.
Yeah. I like how Derek King's like, oh, it's good to have a grumpy captain. I'm like,
no, sir.
Like Derek
there's like OG grumpy Captain Serious with his like face and all of that stuff, but that's not what we have right now. We have like, I don't know what I'm doing, Captain Toews, and that's not it. So
if you forget how to captain a hockey team that you've captained since 2009, we got problems.
It's time to take that C, and I'm not saying strip it from him, because I mean we all saw what that did to Jack Eichel. He was a very angry human, but I think it's time to sit down with Taser and be like, hey, bro, if you are unsure what your duties are as a captain, then maybe it's time to name your successor, because that would be a perfect opportunity next season to say, so-and-so is going to wear the C. I am here to support them in any way that I can. But for the future of the organization, we want to make sure that we've got our next leadership group ready to go.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, Connor Brown was also a captain of the Kings, became an alternate because of Anze Kopitar, and he's still there and doing fine. Of course, it's Connor Brown and not Connor Brown. Whoever the Brown is in LA, there's so many Browns in this league. I worked a 13-hour day today at work. I am tired.
You're fine. So
I work a lot. I work a lot of hours, but either way, though,
in summary, bridge deals for everyone. Jonathan Toews, please bestow your C upon the next captain of the Blackhawks.
And if Derek King comes back, we are dropping the hockey part of the episode.
Yeah, we're just gonna change 2 letters in the name of this podcast, friends, and we'll occasionally talk about the Blackhawks, but it's fine. So let's get to the joy, because we've done the pain part. We've talked all the Blackhawks contracts and all the craziness. Zach, it's time.
Is it? Is it really? I mean, is it really time, though?
Sir, it is time. The gloves are on. The hand is twitchy.
Oh, the hand is twitchy?
Mr. Martin.
Yes.
before we reveal your decision,
Okay.
we have to give it a little bit of a backstory.
Yes, because
So,
I know we had another fellow Belly Up podcaster's like, he's changing it again. Reasons.
Zach is changing PHF affiliations again for the same reason he changed the first time. It is a person whose name I will say one time and one time alone, because I don't feel like giving this person more attention than they need. Their name is Digit Murphy. They were the coach and president of the Toronto Six, and then when everything blew up, they just made her the president. Well, she is now reported to be the president of the Metropolitan Riveters. Prior to this being known, Anya Packer stepped down and decided not to renew her contract as GM. And then news came out as to why. Because there was then a mass exodus in the Riveters front office. Their stats team is gone. Their PR person left. Several other people decided that they will no longer volunteer with the team because the views of the president no longer align with their personal views. So, for that reason, Zach has decided, rightfully so, that he can no longer support the Metropolitan Riveters because of who they have brought on as president. If you would like to learn more about why we don't like this person, Google is your friend. Like I said, that is all I'm going to say about her. That's it. I'm all done talking about her. I've got nothing left to say, because if you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all.
Yeah, but we are going to bring up Ann and her article from Newsletter 9 here in a little bit and stuff like that, because even the VP
there's a lot that happened.
Yeah, and the fact that Anya Packer left after a season after building the team that was. So the thing is, like, I'm still going to.
So many amazing things.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, the stats team volunteered their time to do the entire league stats.
Yeah, they fixed so many stats for the entire league. They didn't just do the Riv stats. They did stats for everybody. So,
yeah, like,
happy. We can talk about more when we talk about Ann's article.
Yeah.
It's time for happy. So, Mr. Martin.
So, I made a graphic, we talked about earlier in the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I will drop it after the episode, after the audio part of this episode drops on Monday, because we're recording on Sunday.
Yep.
So we'll actually make it official on the socials. That hand twitch thing is hilarious.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to stop dragging this out, because.
So you're saying I need to stop krilling time. You need
to stop krilling time. You need to tell us what's up.
All right.
We got a new member of the Whale Pod. Let's go. Welcome to the pod, my dude.
Yeah, so if anyone's not having the audio version, or if you're not watching the video version, I am showing Beth the logo.
That's on my arm. That's on my shirt. That's on my wall. Welcome to the pod. Fins up, my friend. We are so happy to have you. This is whaley awesome.
The funny part
super
was
fantastic.
The funny part was they were actually, so when I did it the first time, it was between the Whale and the Riveters the first time.
Mm-hmm.
One with the Rivs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's official, no more switching. So
this is it. You're stuck. I mean, I'm actually stuck. I'm stuck. I'm branded for life. Welcome to the pod, my boy.
I mean, I'm gonna have to get a tattoo at some point, because
you are, because I mean, it's beautiful. You might have to come visit and go see Vinny, because obviously he does beautiful work.
Oh, like I said, I have a whole arm I have to finish. I got a whole other arm I got one tattoo on one arm I need to get the whole sleeve done. I have one arm that's kind of almost half done. That needs to get the whole underside done. And I got about 2 legs that need some tats done. We're talking leg tats and possibly hand tats. So there's
so much room for activities. I'm so excited. You have no idea. You have an idea. You can see my face right now. So excited. So excited. So
remember how I mentioned earlier that merch?
yeah.
A whale hat is coming. It's the black trucker hat.
What jersey did you get?
We're big fans of hers. She may or may not have had the best season for a rookie ever. She is the double deuce. Kennedy have a season marchment.
Let's go.
Is the shirtsy. So yes, that is on the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the jersey.
Now see, here's another double number.
Mm-hmm.
We also like this number on a fellow goalie on the Boston Pride who did use her stick as a bench. And there is a certain Blackhawk that wears this number. It is.
Sorry, the first time it was wrong. If you're watching YouTube, I apologize. I was doing 7 in sign language and not 8. Double Ocho.
We are going with double Ocho. Amanda Conway. Amanda Conway. Yes. So
perfect.
The first whale jersey, and it's the green whale. The blue one is going to be the blue one's going to be second. And that one's going to be a little bit tougher for decision on who I'm going to get for that one.
Well, see, you could always do like I did. You could get a green jersey and then this really bitchin' blue hoodie.
True, but
because it's like a full jersey, except for it's a hoodie. So,
but the double the skate lace hoodies though are kind of nice.
They're beautiful.
It's either the blue one or the gray one, and of course they have that gray stripe with pucky in the middle, then the blue, the new one they just dropped.
Mm-hmm.
But so Marchment's on the way.
Yay!
Conway's going to be
happy.
Hopefully, Conway's going to be eventually soon.
Yes,
depending on how long that takes to save up for that, because jerseys are not cheap for the PHF.
They are not. But one thing I love about the PHF, they're worth it. Number one, number two, they don't keep extra stock. They actually print every jersey to order. Yet takes a little longer to get to you.
6 to 8 weeks.
But it is worth the wait. The quality is beautiful.
And the thing is, like, they actually aren't like true to size. They're like, they actually give you room in these jerseys.
They're actually hockey jerseys. They're not just like a sweatshirt that somebody like. Obviously, my blue one is a sweatshirt, but their jerseys are hockey fit jerseys. They're not just like.
It's not like Fanatics where it's like, here's the Fanatics brand, which is roomier, or you have the Adidas where it's like you're suffocating in the jersey. Because I have a Jacob Slavin one that it's like it's the biggest size possible, and it's
I need my Spanx. Give him a Spanx.
Yeah, like I have the biggest size possible at 60, and it's still tight. Like, and I have 4X jerseys that I have room in.
Yeah.
So a 4X green is going to be it with Amanda Conway. And I'm going to get the blue one eventually after that. And that one's going to be a tough pick.
It should be Abby Ives or Fuji.
Either one. Happy birthday, Fuji, because today is her birthday.
Fuji. Today is her birthday.
The thing, because you have Abby Ives, you got Fuji. I mean, you got
Jessica. I mean, there's lots of great options, but we are slowly running out of time.
But
so we do have to actually talk news, even though I don't know how I'm supposed to do that now that I'm so excited. We promise to the other PHF fans we are going to be biased. Unbiased. We're going to be unlike another news outlet we will never name because we ain't like that. But we do have a beef with another outlet who acts like they're not, but they are. It's true. I saw it in person.
Yeah, we promise though we will be the most unbiased WoHo pod. So.
But we will also celebrate whale wins. Like,
we
will talk about it in unbiased ways, but then we'll be like, we'll win. So this means when we hit episode 100, we only have to go to one location for a weekend series.
Exactly. The thing is,
we just have to go to Danbury.
Yes, and the thing is with our podcast, our video podcast, there's only one hat I'm wearing on every show now. I'll have all my I'll have my Blackhawk shirts on, but there's only one hat I'm wearing.
Whale, we need flags.
Please, like
we need whale flags.
I mean, I'm gonna take this down. Like, I'll replace this one whenever I have to do my other podcast. But
I might message Margaret when we get done here and be like, so we had an idea. We want flags.
oh wait, by the way, my co-host now is now
My
a
co-host
whale.
is now a whale fan. I did it. I win.
Oh, did you tell her you were trying to convert me at some point?
No, I didn't. But she said she was going to listen, and I told her I was going to wear this shirt. So
okay. Yeah. So now we're now two whales, and we're literally we're
physically 2 whales on a pod.
We're two whales on a pod.
Let's go.
This is a whaley great pod.
It is a whaley great pod. You know, we do need to bring our whaley great friend Shaggy Von Doom on for an episode as well, because he is also a member of the whale pod.
Isn't Ladarius Brown also?
Ladarius also a member of the whale pod. The pod is a great place to be, dude. Like,
plus the Twitter account is just it's the puns. It's the puns.
It's the puns for me.
It's also and I even tweeted at the whale too. I'm like, whale, we need a petition to get Anya Packer in the front office somehow. So
it's true.
If you're listening, whale, bring back Anya Packer.
We need Anya.
We need number 4 back.
We need our 4.
Yeah.
So in other WoHo news, there was some news that came out that, again, we're going to be discussing this more on episode 6. The PWHPA announced earlier this week that they were no longer going to work on any sort of collaboration with the PHF because they had some concerns. It was a unanimous vote from the PWHPA. The reasons are they had concerns about their actual funding. They apparently didn't provide them with a convincing business proposal. I feel like that's a both side situation. Like, you give one, I give one, but whatever. Then they also had concerns about John Boynton and his connection with Yandex, which is basically like Russian Google.
And they said the fact he also owns like 2 teams, possibly a third.
Yeah. So, and then the final was that they didn't address the PWHPA's vision. That's in quotes because that's how they expressed it, and also their needs, which was also in quotes. But they did also announce a few days after that the PWHPA will soon have a different name because they are forming their own league of 6 teams, cities TBD. They announced some pay stuff with, I think it was 32.5 is a minimum, 55 average, healthcare benefits, 32 games, 3-month season.
Yeah, 35. It's 35 minimum, 55 is the average, which okay. If your minimum's 35 and your average is 55, you're gonna have some really huge discrepancies in.
Yeah,
I feel like the top end players are gonna be making twice as much as. I'm sorry, 35,000 is your minimum. You're talking about trying to make livable wages for your players.
It had to
be 45.
Yeah,
like so 35. That's like nothing. That's
We will hopefully have more details in a couple weeks. That's part of the reason we don't really want to talk about a lot of it right now is we don't have a lot of details. We don't even know what the league is going to be named. Some people have been coming up with some really great names on the internet. There was one the other day. I sent it to Zach because I was like cackling from laughter. It was psst, 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 here, hockey league.
Yeah.
And I died.
And the thing is, it's like 6 teams. It's like 32, like you said, 32 games, and it's like 3 months of hockey from June to March. Was it January to March or something like that?
January to March, I believe, yeah.
Of 2023. Or was it I think it was January to April.
January to March or April, whatever. But 32 games, 6 teams.
Wait, is it 32 games each or 32 games in total?
I don't know how realistically they would play 32 games each
because
that short of a time frame.
Because the PHF played 25. No, how many games?
They played 24 last season.
Yeah,
it was anywhere from 20 to 24. My brain is fried.
Yeah, and that was over months.
Yeah, that was from November till obviously the playoffs.
And this is also included the Winter Olympics break that they had too.
They played 20 games. So they played 20 games, and then they had obviously their playoff situation.
Plus, they were off too. Well, they missed a lot of. They had a lot of games postponed because of COVID.
Every postponed game was made up. So they had their winter break from December to January. And then the week after they came back from winter break, all of those games were postponed due to COVID protocol, but every game was made up. They played from November to March.
That's what I'm saying. So if it's 32 games total, okay, that's doable. If we're talking 32 games each for 6 teams in
that's
3 months,
that's a lot.
That's a lot of midweek games. Like,
which is exactly why we're like, we need some more information because some of this doesn't make sense.
Well, here's the thing, though, too. Here's my one other gripe about this. Name a place outside of NHL Network for the one game that they showed, and unless you follow their Twitter account, tell me where you've seen any PWHPA games other than highlights on Twitter.
Yeah, I haven't, but also I wasn't really looking for it because I was really deep into PHF stuff the last couple seasons. So
yeah, same. That's why I don't get it.
So I mean, hopefully we'll have more details soon. Both of us, don't get us wrong, Zach and I are both big WoHo people. We love WoHo. Give us all the WoHo. We want all the WoHo. We will get deeper into our feelings as to why on episode 6. We're pretty much going to dedicate that whole episode to talking about what we know, what we find out, what we feel, etc.
What our concerns are with this?
Yeah. I mean, we'll lay it all out on episode 6, but I mean, they've announced that they're forming a league. We just don't really know anything more outside of that. It's going to be 6 teams. That's what we got.
All I know is that's what Jeff Merrick posted on Twitter.
Yes.
On Hockey Night in Canada. So
yes, and then the PHF stuff going on. So there is not going to be a PHF draft this offseason. So it's all going to be free agent madness. So that's going to be fun. I know a couple teams have announced their tryout camps.
I know Buffalo. I know the Buttes dropped their dates. I think it's May or June.
It's June 8th and 9th, I believe.
Yeah.
And then the rumor mill is a fly-in because apparently instead of 2 expansion teams next year, there's only going to be the one in Montreal.
Possibly. They don't even know if that's even going to make it in time.
They don't even know if that's going to happen yet. And then a lot of the rumor millie people that are much more in the know than we are, which is why we follow them on the internet.
For now,
have said that
one day we'll get there.
One day we'll get there, but right now we are not the insiders. We just find the insider information and share it with you because we love you guys. Looking like the second city is gonna be Detroit. A lot of the talks have been around the next PHF US team being in Detroit, which is something we talked about with Courtney. Like Detroit or Chicago would have made the most sense, but there's a lot of PWHPA presence in Chicago, so Chicago made less sense.
Yeah, especially around with the Blackhawks and stuff. Yeah, that was going to be tough.
So, but Detroit is the name that a lot of people are saying is going to be the place, but we might have 1, 2, or no expansion teams next year. We don't know.
Which kind of sucks because we all got really excited during the playoffs. Like, oh, we're getting 2 expansion teams. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Now it's like, nope, we're getting one. I feel like there have
been so many shakeups with Tyler not renewing her contract. And now everything going on with the Rivs. Boynton is apparently involved with the acquisition stuff and the ownership stuff for one or both of the expansion teams, which obviously is giving people questions because of his connections with Yandex.
Oh, here's the problem too. It's like he already runs the Rivs and the Boston Pride. Now you're possibly talking to him having a stake in the Montreal team. I was thinking about this the other day. They're talking about how this league wants to have private ownership, which makes sense.
And they're moving to it. The Six have the most diverse ownership group, I think, in hockey, period.
It's fantastic. But
beautiful.
Here's the thing, though. You're talking about 2 teams already out of a 6 that got the same owner group with a possible third. You're talking about almost half of the league is going to be taken up by one ownership group.
But at one point, they were all owned by the same ownership group. So there is more parity now. I know Minnesota is looking for new ownership right now. They're looking for local Minnesotan people to purchase the team so that they can divest that as well and break that up, because that is a part of the Buffalo ownership.
I think so, yeah. But the thing with the Boyens, though, the Boyens have had issues for a while now with a lot of stuff they've done. And it reminds me of, do you have any idea about soccer at all, very much outside of, okay, so.
This is awful, and I'm so sorry for soccer fans. I put soccer on to go to sleep.
It is what it is. But
it's so boring to me. I'm so sorry.
So there's the New York Red Bulls of the MLS. Then you have the Salzburg Red Bull team out of Austria, and then you have RB Leipzig out of the Bundesliga. Here's the main problem: they're all sponsored by Red Bull. They all have Red Bull logos, and there's always been problems with having guys getting transferred from one or both teams to either the Bundesliga's team or the Austrian team. So there's a lot of they don't do as much. It was a problem. And
the ECHL actually puts a kibosh on that, because there are a lot of ECHL teams that are owned by the same ownership team. I mean, the Iceman owner also owns the newest franchise that's coming in next season, the Savannah Ghost Pirates.
I'm ready for those. I'm ready for those jerseys to drop.
I am too. I'm also ready for us to road trip to Ice Pirates Iceman games, or Ice Pirates.
Yeah,
Ghost Pirates Iceman games.
Oh, because for me, Savannah's only about 3.5, 4 hours for me, so that's an easy
and
overnight
as an
trip.
Iceman season ticket holder, I get discounts for going to see games in Savannah, so I got you. So but they have rules against trading within teams that you own to prevent this particular the Iceman will not be able to initiate trades with the Savannah Ghost Pirates because they are owned by the same person. Yeah. And there are several other teams where it's the same.
Soccer's loosey-goosey with that. So that's what a lot of people had problems with, was that whole thing. So for me, it's I know the Boyens don't. I don't know if they have or done that, because you don't hear about a lot of trades in the PHF, which I think once we start,
you hear a lot of acquirings, but pretty much it feels like once you're signed, I mean, there's not really a trade deadline. There's not really anything of that nature.
Once we actually get a trade deadline, then that's bring on full chaos mode.
When we've made it and we have a trade deadline,
oh gosh.
But also part of that right now, I think, has a lot to do with the fact that all of the players do, most of them, I can't say all, because there have been reports that there were a couple, at least I believe a handful of PHF players this year who only played hockey. They did not work a second job. But you can't uproot a nurse in the middle of the season and say, hey, you're going to have to find a new job in your new city because we just traded you. You can't uproot a teacher in the middle of the school year. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're Massive Packer or whoever that could easily do a full season of just nothing but hockey. Yeah, you we're gonna have to get into contracts of, all right, here is your job, and that's it. Okay, you're making $45,000-$50,000 a season. Here you go.
See, in my brain, I was like, you're making $75,000 to $100,000 a season, because I dream big, baby.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm just saying starting out. I mean, just starting out to where it works.
$45,000 to $60,000. I mean, that's a livable wage in pretty much everywhere except for New York City and California.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, 75 to 100,000 would be great, but at least starting out at 45 to 60 would be great, and that's what makes sense. Then we could talk about trade deadlines, but it's just
when these athletes are playing hockey and hockey alone, year round, then we can talk about trade deadlines and stuff. And I see that it's coming. I feel it coming, where that is the reality, and I love it. But we're just not there yet. So that's really realistically the reason why trades don't happen, is because you can't just be like, hey, teacher, I'm so sorry. Children, I'm so sorry. We're taking your teacher from you because we just traded her from Minnesota to Buffalo.
Yeah, it's just the whole point of this whole thing was the Boyens owning two teams, possibly taking a third, and they've already had issues before. And the thing is, the Rivs, as much as I like the Rivs, I still like the players, Rebecca Russo, Captain America, and Sonia Shelley, and everyone else on the team. It's just like I'll still keep up with the players, but team wise, I can't.
Yeah, I get it.
But
yeah, so I did confirm Minnesota and Buffalo. They are both owned by NLTT Ventures LLC.
okay,
They are looking to sell the Minnesota franchise to local Minnesotans so that is again divested. The Whale are the only team, well, the Whale and now the Six are the only two teams that are not owned by the other two ownership groups. So it's the one that I mentioned with Buffalo and Minnesota, and then it's the Boytons who own the other two.
Yeah, and the thing is the Boytons is they've had issues already with the Rivs because the Rivs have been in trouble before with a certain company
that we won't advertise.
We can't because we
don't want them to come after us.
That's a whole thing. Yeah. So with certain players who've frequented there and a certain group of people in that company that have made it an issue for a lot of people covering the league. I do have to say that some of the writers of the league, not all, but there are some that are kind of, a little much, personally, because you've seen it happen live. And the fact that whatever happened with Tinker, which I don't think anyone's ever going to know what's going to happen with that, because that was a whole issue because of her leaving.
Yeah.
And then the fact that I don't know what happened at Lake Placid because...
Well, the bubble exploded in Lake Placid, so...
Yeah, that was a whole issue. And then I don't think, because they weren't even allowed to show up for the Boston semifinal tournament. Like they were gonna have there because they were gonna have all six.
It's 10:30, by the way. All of the lights in my house just turned off by themselves.
Oh, nice.
Yay, smart house. Let me turn this light back on real quick.
But the thing is too, like with even when they were gonna bring the playoffs back, they were gonna have all six come back for Boston, but they are like, no, we're just gonna do it just the four and that's it. Because I think because wasn't the six one of them? They couldn't go. Yeah,
I think so. Because, that was a lot of travel restrictions as well because Canada.
Yeah, and then the Rivs weren't allowed to go.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of stuff, but thankfully we're done with that. So...
But the whole point is it's just the Boydens are an issue. And like it's just crazy.
And now knowing where some of or a lot of their money comes from, also a problem. So
especially when like one team was won back-to-back cups. And the other one is.
But we love it. We love it for you.
Oh, we love all the teams.
The celebrations have been beautiful. But grand marshals of marathons and craziness.
Yeah, it's just there's just a lot of other stuff going behind the scenes, and we'll go into more detail of with Ann's article that was
interesting. So
because what was the
look
VP?
Up Ann Tokarski on the Bird. She writes for Title IX Sports. They do all women's sports. She wrote a beautiful, wonderfully informative article about the Riveters Exodus. So check that out. It is a good read to kind of also learn a little bit more about that person that I'm not going to talk about.
Yeah, it's crazy how the VP of Communications has no idea what's going on because he has not been contacted by ownership or the new president about what the next direction of this team is, and that's a little concerning.
Yeah, just a smidge. But Zach, where can the humans find you on the internet?
I do have other socials, but the one I'm mainly on is Twitter, and you can find me at OneTrueZach. I have to preface this every time. It's ONE True Zach, not just the number, because I'm not the Wonders. It's just
you're not.
one.
And you're also not the Oneaters.
I'm also not the Oneaters. But I do look good in red, though. I do look good in red suits. But
you are a Canes and a Blackhawks fan, so obviously you love the color red.
I also have red Adidas shoes with black laces. So
beautiful.
And
then where can they find our podcast on the internet?
You can find us at Hockey Pod on Twitter and Hockey Pod also on Instagram. We also do have a link tree. So make sure to check that out because we also have amazing sponsors. Well, sponsor and Shocked Hydrate. And if you have to click that link, go to their website. If you use Whoa Hockey, you get 10% off your order. Oh, Beth, by the way, have you tried it yet?
I have, and it's really delicious. And honestly, they sent me this little thing, and it was free, and you like smell it, and it gives you energy, and it's magic.
So the watermelon's worth it then.
The watermelon's worth it. I also got a sample of the green apple. It was a little too tart for me. I'm not a tart kind of person,
right?
But it was still good.
All right, so make sure you check out Shocked Hydrate. Like I said, 10% off using the code WellHockey. But you got to use the link in our link tree, which we'll leave in the show notes. So click that, click the link, drop the code, 10% off your order. Get the watermelon or the green apple because
or these little sniffer thingies because they're also wonderful.
Yeah. So take your game to the next level with Shocked Hydrate.
There you go.
And then Beth, where can people find you?
Me?
On the social.
So on the wonderful Twitter, you can find me at Wonder Beffers, but it's WON because it's like Wonder Wonderful because I am awesome.
Duh.
And then you can also find me on Instagram at Good Better Beffers. And of course, Zach and I both run all of our socials and our YouTube together. So we're always there too.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Let's Talk Well Hockey on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe, click the bell, and turn on all notifications, not just some or none, all notifications. Because you get, so make sure to do that.
PHF season 8 is going to be lit. There may be some like live game day talks.
Yeah. So live game days. We might even do some like live reactions. We can't show the actual games because ESPN don't come for us, but
no, don't lie. Disney don't come for us.
Well, Disney's already having their own issues right now with everything else going on. So, but
it's fine. So
but basically we'll do some live streams of us reacting to games. You might hear it in the background, but we're not showing it to you. So
exactly. And who knows? Maybe some alternate commentary. I don't know. Maybe we'll get frisky.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe we'll start doing Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi instead of it's just us talking about hockey because why not? I have a feeling it's gonna be we're gonna be doing a lot of whale games now. Yeah. Before we probably would have been two different teams, but I mean,
we'll still watch the other team games. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll throw out some there's Boston Toronto, yeah, or the Buttes against whoever because it's Carly Jackson. So
and we love her.
Yeah. So but yeah, might be a little bit. We might lean a little bit more towards the whale, but we'll make sure to take care of everyone. So
we will show all PHF teams equal attention. We will just love the whale more because that's how we roll. So
we're not biased.
We're non-biased, but we love the whale more. Yes. We will report in an unbiased fashion, but we love the whale. Yes. So it was a pleasure sharing everything with you. Make sure, comment, do all the things. We like to talk on all the socials too, so interact with us, friends.
Pump up the numbers because if you want us to unlock the giveaway, we got to get our numbers.
We got to get the numbers. So
the only way we're gonna
do all the things. Do all the things. Follow all of the internet words. Do all the internet words.
Yeah, because the only way we're gonna unlock this giveaway, gotta hit the numbers.
We're at
rookie numbers. We need to pump those numbers up.
We're halfway there. So
I wasn't gonna break into song, but I won't. That has to be a super.
It's playing in my head. It's playing in my head, so it's fine.
Yeah, same. So if we hit a certain special number, maybe we'll break out into songs on a random podcast out of nowhere, just for fun.
I mean, maybe. So
maybe
we will talk to you, wonderful Wohawks, next week when we have an amazing guest. Keep an eye out on the socials because we might tease a little bit. We might tell you. We might not. Who knows? We'll see. We will catch you next time.